As an enablement professional, you were likely given some vague business objective. It might have sounded something like, we need pipeline visibility, or we need to speed up onboarding. These vague sort of objectives are difficult for the average field staff to know what to do with. And so one of the non-negotiable kind of first steps when you're trying to drive any kind of adoption program is figuring out how to translate kind of broad level objectives into actionable programs. And so what we have is a couple of different things here for you. So one of them is a custom GPT. So if you click on this GPT, it's designed to walk you through a workflow, and we've preloaded it with a number of resources in the knowledge base to help you. So first, it's going to ask you a series of questions. The first one being, which department are you in? So in this case, I'm going to put in sales enablement. I answered all these for you for time purposes here. It's then going to ask you, in plain English, what leadership mandate was specifically delivered to you? So what did they ask for? And in this rudimentary example, I just said increase pipeline visibility and better understand our active opportunities, or better understand our pipeline. And then lastly, they ask, what do you think this mandate means in terms of business outcomes to your program? So as an enablement professional, I'm thinking through, reading between the lines and saying, leadership wants more data points from the field. They want to know more information about the deals the sales teams are working so that it trickles up to them and they can make and have more insights and maybe even make decisions based on that information. And so what we're seeing is a gap in the field staff putting in and pulling out the right information to put into our systems so that it makes it to leadership. So this is already the enablement team starting to kind of read between the lines. What it'll do from there is it'll generate a doc for you. Now, again, this is really just kind of broad level to get you started, and it's really to help validate the right problem that you're looking to solve. And so what it'll do is it'll help you in that conversation with leadership. It'll reinstate the leadership objective that you heard. It'll give you a couple of assumed business outcomes. It'll break down a couple of suggested programs based on what it said. It'll even give you a small execution plan and some KPIs to think about. And even in this case, a tech stack, knowing what it knows about you, using Salesforce and Seismic already, and how to think about this from a dashboard perspective. So again, your mileage vary. You obviously want to take this with all the things going on in your organization. The goal here would be to take an output like this and throw it into a doc, maybe summarize this or use this for your own talk tracks. Go back to leadership and say, hey, you mentioned this was a priority. Here's what I've distilled down as action items from that conversation, or here's the programs I plan to implement to solve for that problem. Does that sound right to you? Any objections or concerns? Here's how I plan to measure it. Here's how I plan to actually go through the execution strategy. It'll help you speed up and give you ammo for that conversation to feel a little more armed heading to those discussions.